Let me start by saying that it is for me the honor of a lifetime to be here representing the men and women of the FBI. There is no finer institution than the FBI and no finer people than the men and women who work there and are its very beating heart. Almost 37,000 men and women with a fierce commitment to protecting the American people and upholding the rule of law in all 50 states and in about 80 countries around the world. Men and women who face the darkest that life has to offer with unyielding integrity and honesty and dedication. And I am both humbled and inspired to be back in public service working alongside them. I'd like to take a step back to consider the serious challenges that we're facing and to remember the millions of people that we're protecting. On the national security front, we confront individuals who want to harm the United States in whatever way they can. Terrorists hell-bent on striking us with IEDs, vehicles, guns, and knives. For example, as we speak, the Bureau has about 1,000 active ISIS investigations in all 50 states. We have nation-states actively seeking our technology, our military secrets, our research and development to build their own economic process and prowess and to tear ours down. Cyber criminals who are using sophisticated means to infiltrate our systems and steal every piece of data that they can get their hands on. These threats are real, they are many, and they are a grave threat to all Americans. But for the people we serve, these are not the threats that they encounter the most in their everyday lives. Threats like violent crime and the national opioid epidemic impact everyday people trying to lead everyday lives. They don't want to have to worry about a terrorist driving a truck down a busy walkway. They don't want to worry about an active shooter opening fire on a crowded public gathering. And they certainly don't want to worry about whether their kids are safe from gangs and drug dealers and predators. We all need to be aware of the world around us and of the threats we face. But we in the FBI are trying to do everything we can to make sure that the American people can go about living their lives while we focus on trying to keep them safe. I'd like to highlight just a couple recent investigations that illustrate just a small part of our work, together with our law enforcement partners and our colleagues in the Justice Department. In October, through Operation Cross Country, which the FBI conducted in 44 states and the District of Columbia, we arrested 120 sex traffickers and recovered 84 sexually exploited juveniles, including a 3-month-old girl and her 5-year-old sister, who were recovered from a family friend who was trying to sell them for sex for $600. And through our Top 10 Most Wanted Fugitives program, we have apprehended, just in the last couple of years, 10 of the most particularly dangerous offenders. In August, late August, we were able to work with our Mexican counterparts to capture Luis Macedo, a gang member charged with first-degree murder for beating, then shooting, and then setting on fire a 15-year-old boy in Illinois who refused to show a gang sign. And then earlier this year, the pressure of being added to our top 10 list led fugitive Robert Van Wees to turn himself in to FBI agents in Texas for the 1983 murder of a young woman's daughter. For 33 years, that little girl, now all grown up, had hoped and prayed for his arrest, and he was finally captured on her birthday. Now, cold comfort, I suspect, but we hope that his capture provides some measure of peace and justice to her. The work that we do is not easy, to put it mildly, but the FBI is mission-focused and passionate about the work we do. We are determined to be the very best at protecting the American people and upholding the rule of law, and I, for one, could not be more proud to be part of it. I want to thank you, this committee, for your support. We could not do what we do without the funding that you all help us secure, without the investigative tools and authorities that you granted us, including As you noted, Mr. Chairman, Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which is at risk and set to expire very soon. We need every tool and every authority we've got to keep people safe and to pursue justice. And as always, we're committed to using those authorities lawfully and appropriately for the good and protection of the American people. So thank you for having me here today, and I look forward to your questions.